You're now listening to the 1130 podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on wheels.
Yo, what it do, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of the 1130 podcast. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30, it's 11:30, man. Time for the podcast show. If you're new to the show and you haven't done so already, before we dive into the stuff, man, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, like it, leave a comment, and share it. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. All right, man, it's going to be another banger, another great episode. I got another great guest that's joining me on this week's episode of the podcast show, you guys. Yes, my guy, Charles Jr., man. Charles Smith Jr. is going to be joining me here on this week's episode of the show, man. He's a creator, innovator, a risk taker, a three-time award-winning publishing author, entrepreneur, man. Just to name a few. It's going to be a great vibe, man. Great vibe, bringing on my guy. We ain't going to waste no more time. We going to get it on, man. Yo, we going to bring on JR. What's going on with you, my guy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. How's your day going?
Not too bad, man. You know, any day above ground is always good.
Hey, I like that. I like the mindset, man. Definitely like the mindset. I appreciate you, Mike. I appreciate you for coming on, taking the invite as well, coming through here on the 1130 podcast show. Where you from?
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How's the weather going down there right now?
It's bipolar, man. I mean, one day it's snowing, the other day is hot, man. So you don't know how to prepare correctly for it, no matter how long you've been down here. But it's good. We able to walk it through it, so it's good.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, decent weather here in DC. Can't wait for the weather break though. But man, enough of that though. But I appreciate you once again for coming through on the show. I like to allow my guests to sort of have the floor and the stage, man, just to tell everyone about yourself.
Yes, sir. So I mean, you said it best, but just to reiterate, you know, I'm a three-time award-winning entrepreneur of Gentleman Boutique by Gone, which is a classy men luxury boutique in El Paso, Texas for our kings. So allow me to get you right. Not only that, but I'm a published author. Also, I'm on my third published book, which is all over Amazon and other ways that you can get books. Then I am a motivational speaker with the message called the REBOOT by Gone. With the REBOOT, I think it's very needed, especially in this time, where I like to use the analogy of the power button. As you see right behind me, oftentimes we use the power button to turn on our TVs, to turn on our devices, or if you're like me, you gotta push the start vehicle. And once you push that button, you're expecting something to change or to take place. Now, oftentimes when we hear reboot, we don't really utilize it unless it's needed at that time. Like if something's not working, you're like, oh my gosh, maybe let's reset it. But a lot of times when it comes to us as people, we don't use that terminology. Oh man, I got chaos going in my life. I got trauma going in my life. Let me just reboot. We don't use that. But imagine we took the time to really say, you know what? In order to get from point A to point B, let me just do a simple reboot, which is really making the choice to change. Just making the choice to change. And it's really getting to know yourself, reintroducing yourself to self. And that starts with understanding your identity, an identity reintroduction. And when I guarantee, when you really get to know yourself, I promise you will stop being in other people's shadow. And I feel like that's a lot of times we can't get to where we desire to be. And it's easier said than done because we're trying to figure out not why I can't get there, but what is causing me not to get there. And we don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the work and see what is causing me to be stagnated in this place we call life. I often tell different people, clients, or people I'm just encouraging to say, in this mirror we call life, are you reflecting what you want to see in life? And if you're not, change it. Change it. But we have a hard time doing that because what does that do? It causes some type of accountability and responsibility.
Hmm. I like that,
So,
man.
yeah, man.
No, I don't want to cut you off, man. I definitely want to cut you off at all, man. I definitely like that, and I think it's very telling too, also, man, that you use the power button too. We often, especially in this day and age, man. I was just talking about this the other day, man. We literally, whether it's our phones or we cutting on, like you said, your car or whatever it is, man. We use that power button a lot, and also with us, man, as human beings, we give off a lot of energy and we got to refuel ourselves, but we definitely don't get that time to reboot, though. I think we are so programmed to just go and and don't take time for ourselves as well too.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
I
Yes,
definitely,
sir.
I definitely like that though. Reboot though. How does this all begin for you though? What started all of this? For Charles, man, this journey for you with the business and this entrepreneurship. Did you see all of this for you as you as a young Jr. though?
Honestly, to be quite honest with you, man, and everybody who's tuning in and watching me, um, it all started with a dream. One of my books, I think my second book, is From a Dream to a Vision. And I kind of go in detail of what got me to this point. It all started with a dream. When I was in high school, I actually transitioning from middle school to high school. They always say you don't want to be that guy who's getting bullied, who's getting clowned on. You don't want to enter into high school like that guy. So but you want to be the guy. And
Yeah,
in order to be the guy, you don't want to have to follow to be the guy. You want to be able to lead out. You want people knowing your name. You want people cheering you on. You just want to be, him. I am him. And a lot of times with that process, you got to go through some things. It doesn't happen overnight unless, let's just say, you're coming up the ranks. You had family who was good at sports or who was intelligent or who really made a name to themselves, and you're just
yeah,
kind of following into the footsteps. But if you're not like that and you haven't been set up like that, it's really hard. And nine out of
yeah,
10, most people, when they're transitioning from middle school to high school, they're the class clown. Because it's easy. It's easy to be the class clown. It's easy to be the troublemaker because all attention's on you. But the thing is, do you want to be known for that throughout your whole high school? And a lot of people don't want to do that, because it causes a lot of work. You got to be that person that's causing all kind of chaos. But then it starts to disrupt your character. And so when it came to me, I was like, you know what? Even though I was starting off as a class clown, I didn't want to continue like that. So I was in music, man. It started off with the music. I made a name for myself in the music, man. Everything was going great. But then it was a quick awakening. Like, okay, if this music thing don't work, even though I know I'm really good, even though I know I have a chance, what can I still do to follow my dreams? And I say, you know what? Let me jump into business. Let me jump into that entrepreneur. And as soon as I think in my senior year, I was getting everything set up. And then when that happened, I started Gone, which is a brand. It stands for God or Nothing. I started the brand. I started off with the shirts, and being that my dad was a pastor, I was like, this is easy. Get into the churches, put a name for myself, and then go throughout the community and different churches and represent. But then it got harder because you would think the same people who you're repping in the same faith would be your main supporters. It wasn't like that. So I quickly realized I had to work even harder because I didn't have that type of leverage. So then it brought out a whole new type of entrepreneur in me. Like, you know what? If I'm gonna make it in this world, I gotta work harder than the rest. I can't depend on people. But when that happens and you're very ambitious about the work, man, you sometimes, like, if you're like me, I start off backwards. I started upside down. There was no blueprint to how to properly execute in this game. There was no roadmap to success. It was like you either go out there and take a risk or you sit on it and watch other people pursue their dream. but there was no blueprint,
Yeah.
you know.
So
And
right.
here I am today. Yeah,
No, I was
and
just
here I
saying,
am
man.
today, man.
Yeah, I say you're so right about that, man. Definitely no blueprint on definitely how to go and just like basically go get it. Us as growing up, you either gotta go work for the man or try to make ends meet. And with today's society, where it's like, man, yo, man, um, it's much easier to be an entrepreneur, but at the same time, you don't necessarily get that support that you might think that you would definitely get from your close ones. So you gotta definitely go extra hard at it. How was that when you realized, like, oh, wait a minute, like the support ain't really, what it is, but I gotta, definitely just do what I gotta do.
When I stopped depending, and it was one instance that I remember where I had a gentleman and he was supporting. He loved to get the merch, and I was doing it outside of my trunk. And then his wife came out and was like, "You buying more stuff? You buying this and that?" And bro, that was just a turnoff for me. I was like, "What? This dude's excited." And I said, "You had something to say about it." So in my head, I didn't say nothing, man. I watched, I observed. I was telling my wife, I said, "You know what? I do not want to just depend on this." I said, let me jump out in this community, and I know there's a whole world out there who would love to buy into this. And that's what I did, man. I start getting out there and showcasing and doing different things to really get out there. And I got a major support, not from my own culture, not from my own people, not from my family, but it was from strangers. It was people I didn't even know. And that's why you often hear people when they say, when you get into business, your main support is going to come from people who do not know you, strangers. And that's truth. That's truth, man. So I mean, just fast forward all the way up to where I am now. I tell people this story. Last year, man, it took me 27 years to get to the point where I had to really know that the only reason why I'm here today is because of my past. Like really acknowledge it. I mean, it's easier said, but have you ever took the time to really appreciate your past and everything that has happened, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and just say thank you?
Yeah, I think that's an amazing question. I don't think a lot of us really does that though, because and I bring this back up, the world we live in now, and it's moving so fast, and of course, if your past have trauma in it, which a lot of us maybe do, we don't take the time out to appreciate or deal with the past because of that trauma that's behind us, and we just want to continue moving forward and looking forward, which which is definitely a great thing to definitely look forward. But it's okay to acknowledge, like how you say, acknowledge the past and where you came from, though, and why you feel as though there's a lot of us may not want to look, because trauma as well, though, not want to look back into the past.
Correct. But it's important. It's necessary. And when I got to that mindset of appreciating it, man, for taking those necessary risks that got me to my present, it helped me go through a remarkable future that awaits me. Because sometimes, and a lot of us, we're so focused on the future. We're so focused on that next step. Oh man, I'm getting ready to do this, or I can't wait till this happens, or I'm preparing the legacy for this. But then we don't stop and realize, well, hold up. Hey, there ain't no future without me. I am the future. The future starts today. It don't start tomorrow. It starts today. Because if I plant that seed today, it makes a better work for tomorrow. And when we get that mindset, oh man, it changes the game forever, because now you see now the hustle, that the work that I'm putting in now, the time that I put in now, the grind that I'm putting in now, oh man, it's just making a better tomorrow. But the future starts right now. The future started when I made it up in my mind that no, I'm not just gonna be average. No, I'm not just gonna be second place. No, I'm not just gonna be complacent. No, I'm changing that right now. And how I change that is changing the way I think about myself.
Mhm. I like that. I like that, man. You speak on, I like the motivation definitely behind the words, man, too, and the inspiration. And you talk about as well, you're a motivational speaker, and those words are definitely are powerful, to someone who definitely needs to hear it because Man, the mind is a very powerful thing, and I think, man, when you let negativity creep in or doubt or anything like that, it can definitely stay. But when you have a strong mind and you're strong minded, I think is limitless, limit possibilities on what can definitely happen for you. Limitless, not necessarily limit, but in the future though. But what really got that mindset for you though? Because not a lot of brothers really, have that, just wanting to, have a better future for them. Obviously, you want to do things and to be the better version of yourself.
It's really bad. It's really understanding your why. When you take the time to understand the why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you go to work? Why do you hustle? Why do you want that business? Most of the times is because if for those who I'm a first time father. I just had my daughter, and really that was an eye opener because before my daughter, I already had that ambition. I was doing fashion shows, event centers, you name it. That was just me. But when my daughter came into the picture, I realized now it's not just about me, it's about we. See, the language changes. And now that anything that I do from this point forward, there has to be a reason. There has to be a purpose. It's no longer just taking risks and just to see what happens. No, it's
Mhm.
taking risks and making sure that I'm about that risk every step of the way, knowing that I'm going to get a result, and that result is going to be winning. That's the end result. Is I'm gonna win either way
I
it
got you.
goes. I'm gonna win. You feel me? So that's the mindset. It's your why. And
I
a lot of
got you.
times, if you really take the time to see, what is it that I want to like? Because in this world today, they're not gonna give you jack. They ain't gonna give you nothing.
Hmm.
Zero. When it comes to applying for grants, especially people of color, that's hard. When it comes to really getting your name across, or really having people invest in what you feel that's a need at that time, is work. And sometimes it's a no. But when you understand your why, then you start focusing on the why then of the no's. Because you understand what that why, I only need one yes, bro. I only need one yes. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but as long as I stay consistent and produce a product that I know works and brings results, man, that's all I need. But to answer your question, I would say as soon as you get to the point that you understand your why, everything else is history. It's time to get to work.
I like it, man. I definitely like it. You say you're a new father, right? You just had a baby
Yes,
girl.
yes,
How
sir.
old is she?
Man, she'll be 15 months next week.
Okay, okay, man. My little man is he's one. He be two in July right now. So
Wow.
yeah, man. I know that feeling, man, of being a new dad and having your kids have a different perspective on everything where it's just not yourself now. You gotta do it for someone else too. So like how you said, it's not just yourself, is we and stuff. So I definitely get that, man. I dig that. I definitely dig it. You're a three-time publishing author, a Wing Ward publishing author. Your latest book out, man.
It's called Reboot My Way of Thinking. So it's a guide, it's a manual, it's a journal, it's an affirmation book, an oath book, whatever you need it to be within a 31-day period. And I mean, you can use it every 31 days or within just one 31-day period, whatever the case is. But it is we built that book and created that book for you to have a guide. It's easy for us. You know how they say ain't nothing that's going to be manifested without a vision that has been written down. So we can't expect anything to be manifested if you haven't took the time to really write it down. And that's what that is. It's a guide. It's actual me putting my accountability and my responsibility to work. Okay. If I want to be here, okay, let me start with day one. What's the plan for today? Now, what three strategies am I going to do to execute on today? It's putting me to work, but this is putting me to work on a daily basis. It's giving me an affirmation once I first wake up. Oh man, today we going to win. And if we don't win, we gonna make something happen. Whatever that quote is for the day, it's something to speak positivity because a lot of times that's what we need. We just need something to wake us up, and then
Mhm.
something to hold us accountable. So day by day, it's a guide, it's that journal, it's that workbook, it's that affirmation, whatever you want it to be. That's it for you. It's available on Amazon. We've been getting extreme reviews from it. It's I'm not saying it's a genie in a book. It's gonna make your dreams all come true, but it's a starting point. And then when you have a nice starting point, hey, everything else is a roller coaster ride.
Mhm. I dig it. I dig it, man. Definitely. I was just about to say that, man. That's all it takes is definitely a starting point, and you're all from the races right there, man. I definitely uh, dig it. Definitely dig it. One thing you mentioned earlier, you said you were a class clown, though. And I definitely remember growing up, going to school, middle school, high school. You had maybe one or two people who was in the class or in the room that sort of was the class clown. More attention that was on them. So, what can you really take us through that journey and that transition for you? Because normally some people just wind up being the class clown, sort of just be the class clown, but you sort of wanted to be more of more of like, okay, well, I just want to be more than being the class clown and disrupting the class, and I want to be more than that, and just where you taking yourself at now?
Man, when it comes to the class clown, and let's just put it like this: it's not for everybody. Some people is actually really good at it, and I mean, made it. And I mean, because that's what they focused on, and that's what they evolved their life on. Now with me, it was really just I guess bringing attention to myself because I felt like I was under people's shadow. I felt like I hung out with the cool kids. I was there. I was in that group. But seeing everything that they did to like stay at the top, it wasn't just because I'm good at sports, but there was dibbling dabbling in other things that just wasn't in my nature at the time. And it was just like, man, I don't want to get myself caught up. I want that reputation for myself, but I know there's another way to navigate through. So the class clown was kind of like the awakening because I remember, when I was entering to high school, I had my first two sets of bullies, and these boys was huge. When we was put together, we made the whole 100. It was big boys, and they were trying to find themselves, and it really had me dive in deeper to what this situation was really about. Was it really because they just needed somebody to pick on, or was it really because they was trying to find themselves? So as I'm trying to find myself, they were doing the exact same thing, but because they were big, they just did it in a different way that gained immediate attention. And
Okay.
so when that happened, I remember like it was yesterday, man. And I was coming in, and I was that one. I was skinny and scrawny, man. So I'm trying to lift weights and show people what I can do, And he was like, "Man, you can't do that." I said, I can." So I was showing out. And I remember this one time, you always had spotters. So they just decided to spot me, and I was lifting like 245s, 45 on each side. And as I'm bringing them up, I'm like, got it. It was just bringing them down. It was a problem. So, I just said, usually at that time, if it's clear, you could just drop the weight. So
Yeah.
me, I dropped the weight, man, and it happened to drop on one of these big boys' foot. And at that time, I was like, oh man. So, he's like, hey man, kiss my foot. Kiss my foot. I said, I ain't gonna kiss your nasty foot, bro. Everybody laughing and stuff. I'm not gonna kiss your foot, bro. And he's like, no, man, kiss my foot. So, you could tell because everybody was laughing, he felt like a little punk, So
Yeah.
it was like now it started getting heated. So I'm like, nah, I don't got time for this, man. So, I nipped it there. And then let's just say from there, it didn't escalate. But bringing to the class clown, I knew that funny was not the way I wanted to go because sometimes that can lead into another navigation where you don't want to be at. And it's just not for you. It's good to be funny, but you got to hold your own too. You got to hold your own. And it's just, I wasn't trying to be the jokester and then have it mess up other things that were coming in the future for me. So I had to find something quick. But I thank God for it, man, because me being awoke in that moment, it helped me find a new possibility, which was music. So I was able to transfer that same energy and bring some attention to something that was bringing truth, but that people enjoyed. So
I dig that, man. I definitely dig it. When was the moment in your life that you hit the reboot button?
it was last year, man. Last year. And the crazy part is, I was probably rebooted my whole life, man, and I just didn't know it. But it started last year. I was at a mastermind class, and it was funny, man, because I wasn't even trying to go to the mastermind class. I didn't have the money at the time, and one of my mentors, he was pushing me. He was like, "Nah, man, I need you there. I need you there." So he was always checking up on me, and I was like, "Man, I just I got things happen. I just bought my home, and yeah, I got a daughter, and I was making all kind of excuses. I probably could have found a way." But I was being very conscious, man, because with just having a new business, you're getting things in order. So sometimes, your finances is fluctuating, especially when you're a full time entrepreneur. Things are changing, things are adjusting. So I remember he said it was probably a week before the event, and he was like, "Hey, man, I had somebody who dropped out, so I have a free ticket left." And I said, "How ironic, you got a free ticket left." So he said, "I want you to be there." So I said, "All right, man, I'll take the ticket." So it was a 2-day class, man, and it was identity mapping. If you or anybody watching this have never took a class or a course in identity mapping, I highly recommend it, because that's another awakening to really understand you. It's nobody preaching to you, it's nobody counseling you, but it's you discovering the things that you already do, just in another facet that brings more clarity. And when I was there, man, it was dope. It brought clarity. And when I started off with the three things, the creator, the innovator, and risk taker, that's where that came from. Because when I was going through the identity mapping process, I realized that I was already where I desired to be. People were assuming I was a millionaire, and I'm not. People thought I was a
Mm,
millionaire. People was like, "Man, you got it. Your store is nice. Man, you got money, bro." But
yeah.
they saw me at the level that I desired to be, but the problem was I did not see myself at the level that I desired to be. And they said, "You want to be we see you as a millionaire, but you used to see yourself as a billionaire." And I was undervaluing myself to a point where, it was like, wow. It was awakening. And so I had to reboot myself, because he said, "Charles, you're at a cliff." And there's people, man, who just jump off that cliff and just know that either I'm a catch something, that's gonna come out, or I'm gonna land like nothing happened. And then you got
Mm.
some people who's on the cliff that's like, "Nah, bro, nah, this ain't me, bro. I don't know how deep is it? What's down there?" Like, we're trying to be conscious. And
Yeah.
he was saying the reason why you're stuck where you are, because you just don't jump the cliff. You just don't jump, because I'm too busy worrying about the death, when I should just have faith and be like, you know what? Whatever happens is going to happen. And I just know that it's going to be good. And a lot of times we
Mhm.
don't do that. And when I got that reboot, man, I was like, you know what, man? I feel like this is something that's needed for so many people who are like me. Not saying that you're not ambitious, or not saying that you don't have no desires or you don't have no goals, but have you ever just got to a point where you were just stuck? You were just stuck, and you don't know what it was. You don't know if it
Mm,
was family. It could have been past pains. It could be things that you're going through right now that has you stuck, and you don't even know it yet.
mhm. I, hey man, definitely. I agree with that. A lot of us are, stuck, man, and don't want to take that sort of leap of faith, to the next part, man. The next, journey, man, in life, man. And you took that. You took that. And why you feel like a lot of people don't want to take that leap of faith, man? Because yeah, take that leap of faith.
I just say because they're scared. They don't want to face
It's,
it. You can't face something. You can't fix nothing that you can't face. And I feel like it's fear. And a lot of times it's not fear of nobody else, it's fear of the unknown. And that's why I wrote my course, Obscurity Has a Face, because we get into that state of being unknown, being like nobody's watching us, being that we don't have no type of say in anything. So we hide ourselves behind the smoke, behind other people actually doing it, and we stagnate the actual potential or the untapped potential that we have. That's what causes us to be stuck. It's the fear of the unknown because we don't want to know. We don't want to know what's going on. We don't know. We don't want to know how to do that. A lot of people that we have today, Apple, people who have iPhone or people who drive in the Teslas. I put this
Mhm.
this quote on Facebook, and I said it's a selfish thing to know that you had all these gifts and talents and you have not shared it with the world yet. Imagine Elon Musk said, you know what, I'm gonna sit on this Tesla dream.
Hmm.
Imagine Steve Jobs was like, you know what, let me just sit on this Apple. See, it's a different. We think of it in a different perspective when we see, oh man, I would have never had an iPhone. Imagine Walt Disney said, I'm gonna sleep on Disney. Things would
Mm.
change. And because somebody else took the initiative to say, you know what, I don't know what this dream's about to do. I don't know what this dream is gonna, how many people is gonna change, but I'm not gonna give up on it. And look it, because somebody else continued to dream and actually stepped on that dream, then it created so many other opportunities for other people to continue to dream. So when
Mm.
I don't stop on my dream and I keep going, I may not see it right now, but in a decade, because I decided to start the reboot, look how many opportunities I created 10 years from now of people who say, you know what, I'm no longer going to be stuck because I have untapped potential. I know my value. We'll have more entrepreneurs, we'll have more businesses, we'll have more innovative things that can help change and fashion this world in a better world than it is. But we got too many people, and that's why they say the most richest place in the world is in the grave
Mm.
because it's there where there's dreams that have not been touched, books that have not been published, things that have not been said or shared with the world. That's the richest place. But we can change that scenario. We can change it. We can change it. But hey, man, who am I, right?
I like the way you think, man. I really do. What inspires you, man?
Honestly, man, I like watching positive stuff, man. I mean, if it's on TV, if it's books, different influential people. I like, I like watching Pastor Mike Jr. and Mike Todd. I love them because they're just like us, man. But they just don't preach to say I'm a preacher, but they bring what they're doing in the world, and bring it with spiritual guidance and put that together and bring you a experience like none other. Because sometimes, we've have came to this resolve that people, when we talk about church, people just get like a bad taste in their mouth, due to their own experience or how they grew up. And bro, the church is really dope because at the end of the day, the church is not a building, it's us as people. So there's really dope people out there. But because of
Mm.
how church has been for so many years, you got people saying the church is whack. They're not talking about the people, but how we have designed it to be. All the talent that we
Yeah.
got started out the church, man. Everything that we admire came from the church. But because we were so caught up in the church, we lost it to the world, and now that we're trying to step up with the world. Like, man, how y'all doing that? How you got people coming here? Why is the arenas wrapped around 2 times over? Because
Mhm.
of the experience. It's the experience, man. And anything that we do, man. So things like that, things that catch my eye, driving in a Tesla. That's why I'm ready to get my Tesla, man. Because just being in the experience of a Tesla, I'm like, bro, this is a whole new way of driving. It's just like, wow, I mean, the whole 9 yards, because people took the initiative to get every experience, every value out of a product for people, because that's what it's
Mm.
about. It's about people. How can I make life better for people? So that's
Mm.
where I get my motivation from, man. Inspired by other creators.
I dig it. I definitely dig it, man. Oh man, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Everyone, the links will be down below, so you can definitely get a copy of my guy's book, man, and definitely go follow him and subscribe. All the links will be down below. We're gonna move on, you guys, man. It's time for the 11:30 podcast. Hot seat, you guys. All right, we're gonna get into the hot seat, man. All right, all right. It's time for the hot seat, Charles. I got 5 questions for you, and we're gonna roll with it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right. What do you see yourself at 1 year from now?
One year from now,
Yeah,
man, I see me on
yeah.
multiple platforms internationally and around the United States.
Okay, okay. I dig that. I dig that. I think um, it's definitely a thing, man. When you got a goal and when you see yourself at definitely in the future. 'Cause like you said, a lot of us we get stagnant and lost, man, and just be still in the same space, still in the same spot. So I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. All right, number two. What is your dream vacation?
Oh man, dream vacation is Dubai. I'm trying to be in
You
Dubai,
said
man. That's a
Dubai.
dream. On Dubai on a private jet. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Why Dubai?
I don't know, man.
Just
Well, the
something
city of
special about it?
gold, the city of gold, man, and just the experience, just what you see is so classy, man, so elegant. I mean, you feel like a king, you know. I mean,
Okay.
I just like the experience that people like.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I dig that. Okay, if you could have a conversation with anyone right now, past, living, or alive, what would who would it be?
Man, that's a good question, man. It's so many. Um, man, honestly, I'll just probably say, probably either Pastor Mike Jr. or Mike Todd, man. It'd be one of them, just to have a dope conversation, just really pick their brain. So
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, who was your biggest influence?
it'd be one of them. It'd be
No.
one of them because I can see myself in a lot of things they do when it comes to music, speaking, and just creating an experience for people. I could, it'll be one of them.
Okay, okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, last one. What is your favorite food?
Green chicken enchiladas, man. Being in
Great.
a Hispanic culture, yeah, man, yeah. Green
Okay,
chicken
okay.
enchiladas, bro.
It sound good, man. Definitely sound good. Look at it, man. I appreciate you, Charles, for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. Your latest book, right? The reboot, right? It's
Yes,
available
sir.
now.
Reboot my way of thinking.
All right, with the boot, the way of thinking, the way we thinking, or the way of thinking. I'm just wanting
The
to make sure I
way
get
of
it right.
thinking.
The way
Yeah,
of
way of
thinking. All
thinking.
right.
Mhm.
All right, all right. The reboot of the way of thinking. The links will be down below, you guys. So definitely make sure you get a copy. It is available right now. Definitely on Amazon as well, man. And you do motivational speaking as well too, where you could speak in front. So I think that's awesome, man. So you definitely need an awesome motivational speaker. Charles Smith is definitely your guy, man. Once again, I appreciate it. Before you go, any questions, any shout outs, anything you'd like to say?
Man, I just want to appreciate you for this opportunity to be on the 11:30 podcast. I enjoyed myself, and I pray that anybody who is watching this is inspired to know that you can achieve your goal. All it starts with making that choice to push the button. Will you push it?
I like that. Definitely, definitely like it, man. Because a lot of us afraid to push that button. A lot of us afraid to push the button. Whether it's just we don't want to be seen by the world, or whether we just shy, or whether we just whether it's just past trauma. But you definitely got to push the button, man, and just go after it and take that leap of faith, man. Just like my guy Charles did, and so many others. But once again, my guy, once again, it was awesome having you. Thank you for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast. All the links are down below for everyone who's watching and listening. We're going to take a quick break, come back, wrap up the show with the WTF moment and more. Don't move. You're listening and you're watching to the 11:30 podcast. Appreciate it.
TW Wrestle Talk Wednesdays.
That's right. Get with me, Brian B., as well as buzzing with Marlowe's very own Warren Marlowe, the American prodigy. And you see him, your man from the 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels. That's right. We the commission talking that Wrestle Talk Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. live. Yeah, be there, subscribe, follow, like, share. Get at us. Commission, baby.
What's
good? What's happening? What's going on? Yo, it's me, Brian B. That's right, and I'm telling you guys to head on over to YouTube today and make sure you subscribe to the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Check us out. We all over the place.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, aka Coffee Weaston.
This your boy DOE, Good Brother Bowl.
And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man. You tuning in to 11:30 podcast. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills.
Yo, we back here on the 11:30 podcast, man. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the break. Yo, Charles, man, it was great having you on. Great conversation, great guy. All the links are down below, man, so you can definitely follow him, visit all of his social media websites and also his social media platforms. Definitely get at him, man. Yo, Charles, man, great guy. Can't wait to have you here on the 11:30 podcast soon. In the future, man, for real. Really great show. Like I said before the break, you guys, man, before I head on out of here and wrap it on up, man, you guys, man, I gotta give you guys, man, the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, man. WTF moment of the week. And yo, man, I just had to do my research not too long ago, literally like doing a break, because I saw this video and it had me cracking up laughing in a way, and I was like, WTF, man, really, like WTF. And a porch pirate. I don't know if you guys heard of the term, porch pirate. And I had to do, my research before I had to come on here and talk about it. Porch pirate, someone who dressed up and, or if they're not dressed up, but they could be dressed in disguise of sort of anything, or they could just come up to the porch and just steal your packages or your items right off your porch, man. It's crazy. So you guys, man, WTF moment of the week, man. Yo, I seen this video a couple of days ago where it was a guy, man, dressed up in a trash bag. He had the trash bag over him and everything. Had the trash bag over him and going up to I believe one of his neighbors' porch, man, and stealing the package, man. You guys got to check this out. It had me cracking up laughing.
This morning, a porch pirate used a trash bag, of all things, as a disguise.
Talk about make it work. Doorbell camera footage shows the person crouched underneath a garbage bag. The thief approaches the front door of a home in Sacramento, California, and swipes the package under the disguise and shuffles away.
Never seen a porch pirate like this. Watch as this garbage bag shuffles up to the front door. All you can see are fuzzy slippers. The knucklehead grabs the small package and scurries off. The homeowner in Sacramento tells Inside Edition that at first he thought it was a prank, but it was all
WTF all the way, man. I was like, yo, are you freaking serious? Like, that's what you're doing with your life, man. You feel me? That's what you're doing. You know what? It's social media, man. Social media. Now I'm thinking of it, this person probably did this, dressed up, and decided to go do this just for his social media, just to go viral. Because I can't really think, like, really that's what you do. Let's go dress up in a trash bag, and pretty much everyone got a home camera, outside their door, on their porch, or or whatever like that. But you guys, man, I that was my WTF moment of the week, man. It had me going, man. It had me going. But you guys, man, this has been a great show. I'm about to head on out of here. But you guys, man, this past Saturday and Sunday was WrestleMania, man. I was a big kid all over again. You guys, man, Commission Talk, the 11:30 podcast edition, live today, man, on the 11:30 podcast social media channels here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, man. Definitely tune in. We're gonna be talking the fallout from the Raw after WrestleMania. What did The Rock give to Cody Rhodes in the middle of the ring? Jey Uso is the new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, what a difference things make when you just get a fresh slate of champions, man, and just a clean slate, man. And that's why I feel like we are at right now. So a lot more to dive in. Like I said, the fallout from WrestleMania, the best WrestleMania. People calling it the greatest WrestleMania of all time. You know, we in the Paul Levesque area. So, hey, man, it was awesome. Really, really awesome. Also, AEW Dynasty is coming up, man. We're going to chat more with AEW and more wrestling news, man, on Commission Talk, the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling edition this Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely tap in, you guys, man. It's been a wonderful show. WTF, man, for real. Find something to do with your life, man. You know, being a porch pirate, like, come on. WTF. But Charles, man, my guy Charles W. Smith, man, JR, man, appreciate you once again for coming through here on the 1130 podcast show, man. For everyone watching, man, it's been a great show, man. Definitely hit that subscribe button, man. Like it, comment it, and share it, man. Tell a friend about the 1130 podcast. But for now, you guys, I'm about to head on out of here. Yo, it's your man Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels. Until next time, you guys, man, stay safe, stay blessed, man. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. He the one, nigga. So let's get it, baby. He the one. Who with me? So Breeze, baby. Let's get it. You with me? Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some.